whothatdaily.com. That's right, the whothatdaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the whothatdaily.com is your site. The whothatdaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, Who That Nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
What was kind of your main takeaway with Taysom's performance and the offense as a whole?
But look, there were some things on there, and I felt this way after the game that I was encouraged with. I was encouraged with, how guys were fighting, competing. Taysom no different, and yet there's a number of things that we didn't do well collectively as an offense. So I'm sure there's some pros there, he wants back, but overall we'll get back to work here, beginning Wednesday and work on our preparation for New York.
So I know when the bye week and you guys didn't get the amount of time that you usually get to self-scout, but were you able to do much of that over the longer weekend? And if so, what were some of the things that you saw?
Yeah, not as much any self-scout. I mean, we're kind of doing that on a weekly basis. And look, you total it up on the bye week, but, for us, it was a chance to get guys out of the building, coaches out of the building, come back in, and get ready to go to work.
Sean, David Onyemata got a couple of snaps at defensive end in the last game. Is that a spot where you guys like him, or was that more just out of necessity and you guys had to get kind of creative with?
Yeah, part of it's out of necessity. Naturally, he's an inside three technique, but he does have some flexibility.
Sean, with Deontay being suspended today, is that something you guys have been bracing for, something you were anticipating coming?
Yeah, I mean, I said it to you guys earlier. You're waiting, and now, we'll go through that process. We kind of knew at some point, that was going to be something he was dealing with, and then we as a team would deal with it.
And Sean, just with Cam going on the COVID list, just curious kind of what you guys have thought about Carl Grandison the last few weeks, just as he's played in a more expanded role.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of reps. We like the player, and I look at him as a young player who's ascending. He's stronger. There's some things technique-wise that he's working through, but no, he's a good young prospect for us.
With Taysom's finger, is the biggest issue just the strength of the grip on the ball, playing quarterback?
Yeah, I know this. Obviously, you prefer not to have any injury at all. And I think that there's a comfort level that they have, and it's not going to get hurt any worse. It's the middle finger and it's the top ligament. To the extent, I think we'll know a little bit more this week as he goes through the week of practice. I think your question's a great one. Is it grip related, or is it when the ball releases off your fingertips? You guys have all seen a football come off the hand. The last finger that leaves it is the index finger. The second to last finger that leaves it is the middle finger. And so hopefully he can get some good work in this week and get a comfort level as to what he can or if there are any limitations.
Did that play a major role in the ball trajectory or the flight or how it came out this past Thursday? Was it a major problem, or did you feel like he did as good a job as you can handling it?
Yeah, look, fair question. You'd have to ask him that. I thought there were a couple trajectory issues. The one he's throwing, kind of into the boundary on a deep Q route that kind of got underneath him a little bit. I can't say if it played a major role, but I think he would be able to elaborate as to what specific role. I mean, I thought he did a lot of things well. There's some things, like I said at the onset, that we can clean up and help him with. But it would be hard for me to answer that specifically.
Hey, Sean, how comfortable were you with his foot just in some of the design runs you were calling? And he looked okay on the scrambles, too.
Yeah, I think we were far enough down the road where he felt better all week long. I mean, look, it's one of those things. By the time you get to a game, then and you're ready to go, I don't know that anyone's 100%, but it was further along, obviously, than prior weeks where we definitely felt it was going to be something that limited him.
Big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining for this episode of TSC. This one here, man, covering more news and notes, and man, what's going on with the black and gold. TSC Saints place Cam Jordan on C19 list, and lose Harris to suspension over the last several games. Of course, the black and gold were anticipating, and of course we made mention of it as well, that the Skunk Goodell was going to take him away two games ago. Of course, the black and gold, Deontay fought against it, appealed it. He lost his appeal and will serve 3-game suspension starting this week. So much love to the Great Saint Think Tank. I appreciate you guys being in the live stream. Like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. I'm in the building. I salute the Black and Gold Nation. I salute the Who Dat Nation, baby, and the Great Saint Think Tank. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this live stream, this Monday installment of the Sports Coma in the building. So it just keeps getting better all the time, isn't it, family? With this one here, as we knew, anticipated that we were going to lose the likes of Deontay Harris to suspension. And to be honest with you, it was something that happened and that went on for some time now. But he was able to get deep off into the season. So the next 3 games, starting with the Jets matchup, Deontay will miss. We'll get into it. We also have the Cam Jordan news. We'll cover that as well. And, of course, we'll talk about playoffs. We'll get into an article on playoffs. So much love to the Black and Gold. Please feel free, family, to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the Great Saint Think Tank. Hit the like button and join the rest of the Who Dat Nation, the Black and Gold Nation, the best in the business, baby. Much love to the fam. Thank y'all for being here. Special shout out to some of our new family members. ISO Joe, big ups to you. Joe Bullion, much love to you. And Rashad Butler, some of the newest family members that's chiming in, that joined the Sports Coma. So much love to the rest of the fam. All right, pick it and flick it. Who that to you? Robert Clark. Who that to you? Carlton. Who that to you? Pelicans Nola. Who that to you? Brother Jerry Poor. Who Jr. in the building. Who that to you? Mr. Pops 3000. Who that to you? Jermaine Scobie. Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat. Gabriel Thomas. Who that to you? Ant-Man. Who that to you? KB. What's happening? Queen. Who that to you? Clint. Who that to you? T. Scott in the building. Who that to you as well? Big ups. All right. Be Kind is in the building. Who that to you? Slim South 504. Who that to you, fam? All right. What's up, Tyrone Jones? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you being in the building. Brother Lewis is in the building. Who that to you? Ramsey. Who that to you? What's up, Delcom? Who that to you, fam? Much love to you. Derek Cropper. Who that to you? Appreciate you. Thank you, Donald, for your super chat, fam. He said, what's up, QI fellas? Yeah, on the Pelican Post game report. That's right. We was looking for you, Donald. I knew something was wrong. All right, but that's all right, fam. I hope you get well rested as well. All right, and the big shout out to my dog Trey Joseph. Who that to you? He's a pro superstar and been a member for the last 13 months. The Great Saint Think Tank, win, lose, we rolling. That's right, fam. We're gonna have some fun and we're gonna keep it real deal Holyfield. Thank you, Trey. For your membership, my brother. All right, Derek Cropper, who that to you? Universal Love 878, who that to you? What's up, Tim? Who that to you? Baraka Longmire in the building. Who that to you? And man, see, I found the stream last year when I started working from home as a Saints fan, and I love it. Keep up the good work, Q. Much love to you. Thank you, Ant Man. Much love to you. Appreciate you, bro. And your membership as a YouTube member. Thank you, fam. I appreciate you. All right, Dr. Key's in the building. What's up, Dr. Key? Who that to you? Joe, what's up, Joe? Joe Thomas in the building as well. Appreciate you. Uncle Paulie's in the live stream as well. Colorado, thank you for asking. My day was actually pretty good, Colorado. I hope yours was the same. I appreciate you, my friend. All right, Lori. Hey, what's up, Lori? Who that to the Queen? Appreciate you. And who that to you? GM Kev is in the building. Yeah, it was kind of late for the Pelican post-game report. We will be firing one up around about 9:30, 15, right after the Sports Coma. We'll have one going in, covering it, the Pelican post-game report. Won't be a long one, but it'll be enough to talk about some of the latest news of the Pelicans as well, just to let you know, fam. Lavelle, who there to you, fam? Appreciate you. Much love. And appreciate all the family members, man. Please feel free to hit upon the like button, and welcome to the coma, baby. All right, so with that being said, fam, let's get into some of this news, man. Right away, let's get some of it covered, man, and talk about it. Now, this is the big news of the day. Right here, as you can see, we got to highlight New Orleans Saints wide receiver Deontay Harris suspended 3 games. Of course, we knew it was coming. We knew the shoe was going to drop eventually, and it did. He appealed the suspension. It lasted two games, and of course, after that, the Goodell, who's the judge, jury, and executioner, said he kicked out the suspension. Out of the appeal, and now Deontay will do his 3 games. So we'll get into that, and of course, Cam was on the C19 list. So all right, then let's get into it. As Triplet from ESPN dropped the article. The hits keep coming for one of NFL's most depleted rosters. New Orleans Saints receiver kick returner Deontay Harris was officially suspended 3 games Monday for a summer DUI arrest after his appeal was unsuccessful. Go figure that, right? You thought it was going to be successful? And defensive end Cam Jordan was placed on reserve C19 list, putting one of the NFL's longest Ironman streaks in serious jeopardy. Now, Jordan has played in 172 consecutive regular season games, the longest active streak of any non-specialist in the NFL. He would need 2 negative tests 24 hours apart to be able to return in time for Sunday's game at the Jets. Ironically, the New Orleans Saints. Let's see. Wow, I just lost that little sign. All right, so let's get back to this. So you'll need 2 24-hour tests to return 24 hours apart to return to the Jets game. Ironically, the Saints linebacker Demario Davis will replace Jordan atop that list if he can't play. Now, Davis has played in 156 consecutive games. So you got Cam with 172 and Demario with 156. Thank you, T. Scott fam, for your super chat. I appreciate you. Say, who that big Q? Go Saints. Good luck to Eric Dooley at Jaguars. I hope I'm reading that correctly. I'm kind of reading it on my backup screen right there. But thank you, Brother Scott, for your super chat. Appreciate you, fam. All right. Let's keep it going, man. And in this one, as we keep doing this thing. All right. So Demario has the 150. We just been fortunate with all of the guys, man. To be honest with you, Jordan, who's 32, has never missed a game since being drafted in the first round. Okay, Derek Dooley. Okay, I see you, fam. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure I get that correct. Hold on here. Let me get that here. All right. Okay, he says, T. Scott says, go Saints and good luck to Eric Dooley. That's right, at Jaguars land. Okay, I got you, bro. Thank you for your super chat. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. All right, fam, let's keep it going here. All right, let's keep it going. All right, now, of course, Jordan 32 has never missed a game since being drafted in the first round in 2011. Never missed a game. That's amazing. He has 4 sacks this season and 98.5 in his career. The Saints are 5-7 and already thin at the defensive end, with fellow starter Marcus Davenport having missing the past 2 games with a shoulder injury. Veteran backup Passing having been placed on IR last week. Their offense has been seriously banged up during this current 5-game losing streak, though they're hoping to get at least something from the group of running back Elvin Kamara and offensive tackle Teron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk back from knee injuries this week. Quarterback Taysom Hill will also be playing through the pain of a mallet finger injury in his right throwing hand and partially torn plantar fascia in his foot. 24-year-old Harris and a third-year pro who had been taking on a bigger role. He's a third-year pro taking on a bigger role in the offense this year, leads the Saints with 523 receiving yards and has 3 long touchdowns on 31 catches. Now, Harris' DUI case was resolved early in November when he was sentenced to 1 year of supervised probation. Maryland court records show that Harris pleaded not guilty, but agreed to the statement of facts in the police report. According to the police report, which is obtained by NOLA.com, Harris registered a blood alcohol content of 0.0246% after driving more than 20 miles per hour over the speed limit and swerving across 3 lanes of traffic on the interstate at 1:30 a.m. So that's some of the news right there. As Teron, it's official now. Deontay Harris will be suspended for 3 games starting now. That'll take away your top return man, and also probably the fastest wide receiver you have on the active roster anyway. So the Saints, we anticipated this. The move should be quite interesting for the Saints to reach into the and Kevin White is not on the team anymore, by the way. So maybe it's time for them to see what Quan Baker could do. Perhaps we could reach the Aesop Winston or one of these guys. We know Coach Payton's not going to come in here and bring another guy or another veteran wide receiver in here, perhaps, or a name wide receiver looking to help the wide receiver core. The status quo has been the Saints kind of just getting along with what they've gotten. All right, so let's move on to the next article here, fam. And this one's called "The Saints Not Entirely Out of the Playoff Picture Despite Being 5-7." And here's why. I know you guys want to hear this. I know you. What's up, Tragic? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. Brother Tremal in the building. Who that? I know most of you guys are going to want to hear this about why the Saints are still in the playoff picture. A lot of people telling me in the chat already, Q is already over. What's up, Brother Rowe? Brother Will Dickerson in the building as well. So this was coming from Amy at the NOLA.com. Let's see what she got to say about it. After 5 straight losses, the Saints are on the outside looking in for the playoff picture, but 538 hasn't dashed all hopes to the Saints somehow making the postseason. As of Monday morning, the Saints are 5-7, having a 14% shot at making the playoffs, up from 11% from their loss to the Dallas Cowboys. The NFC standings as of Monday are: Arizona sitting in the NFC West are 10-2, Green Bay is 9-3, Tampa Bay is 9-3, Dallas is 8-4, the Rams in the fifth slot are 8-4. Washington, think about this: Washington football team came all the way up back to 500. They're 6-6. How that? Go figure that. Congratulations to Louis T. San Francisco 49ers NFC West. They're 6-6. The teams outside looking in are the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 6-7, who beat the Saints. The Minnesota Vikings are 5-7. The Carolina Panthers, who are 5-7, who beat the Saints. The Atlanta Falcons are 5-7, who beat the Saints. And then there's the Saints. Now that means if the season were to end today, the Saints would finish as last in the NFC South based on the tiebreakers. Go figure that. And a last place NFC South finish has only happened for the Saints once in the Sean Payton era of 2008, when the Saints finished last with an 8-8 record. Why do the Saints still have a chance? Let's see what she says. To put it bluntly, the Saints have a chance because so few teams have risen above the others. The division winners have all been set, but the race for the last 2 wildcard spots are going to be a roller coaster, with 2 teams at 6-6, 1 team at 6-7, and 4 teams at 5-7. 2 of the teams that have 5-7 records still have to play: the Saints, Panthers, Falcons, and the Panthers have only played 2 division games so far, so this logjam will clear itself up in the next few weeks. Right now, the Saints have lost to both the Panthers and the Falcons, so that's why they're number 12 in the playoff picture as opposed to 9, 10, or even 11. The Panthers have an edge over the Falcons because of their head-to-head result on October the 31st. What needs to happen for the Saints to get a better chance? First of all, y'all get y'all pens and y'all pencils and y'all paper ready to write this down. First of all, they need to start winning again. That's a big point of it. A loss to the Jets per 538 drops the Saints' chances to make the playoffs to just 5%. A win bumps them up to 20%. Of course, those numbers will fluctuate depending on the other results around the league. Now, let's say they somehow go on a tear late in the season and pull off wins against Jets, Bucks, and their chances skyrocket to 49%. A third straight win against the Dolphins puts them at 6%, and the fourth straight win against Carolina puts them, week 17 bumps them up to 83% shot. For the sake of the exercise, let's say they win out and beat Atlanta too. That would give New Orleans a 10-7 record and would more than likely put the New Orleans Saints in the playoff picture. However, the odds of the Saints winning out aren't likely, according to her. If they go 4-1 down the stretch with that one loss coming to Tampa, New Orleans has a 65% chance of making the playoffs. 2 losses, a 3-2 record for the rest of the season. Don't eliminate them entirely, but the numbers get less and less in the Saints' favor. What do the Saints fans have to cheer for? The easiest answers here is for any team above position for a wild card spot to lose. If most of them lost this weekend, though, it wouldn't immediately place the Saints in the top 7, but it would help clear the congestion ahead of New Orleans as the finish line draws closer. A reminder of the teams that are in play for the wild card spots and who play in week 14. You got the Rams at 8-4 against the Cardinals, who are 10-2. That's a good matchup. The current 5th seeded Rams have bounced between wins and losses the last few weeks, getting a dominant win over the Jacksonville Jaguars last week. However, they go to Arizona for a rematch against the NFC's leader in hopes of avenging a week 4 loss. The Washington football team climbed back up to 6-6 against the Dallas Cowboys. Washington football team has won 4 straight, and the last 3 victories coming in single-digit wins. Washington hasn't played Dallas yet this season. With their second matchup of the year coming in just two weeks, Dallas has lost 2 straight before coming to New Orleans on Thursday. The Niners were 6-6 against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 7-5. The 49ers were on a tear for the last month, winning 3 straight before they lost to the flailing Seahawks last week. The NFC South's Bengals will have an up and down season as well, steamrolling the Steelers 2 weeks ago, but getting thumped by the Chargers last week. The Eagles the are on their bye week in week 14 since New Orleans 2 weeks back. They've gone 1-1 against the Giants, losing to the New York team's going against 1-1 against New York teams, losing to the Giants but beating the Jets. They play the Washington football team in week 15. The Vikings 5-7, Steelers 6-5-1. The Vikings appear to be approaching free fall as they are on a 2-game losing streak, and they're coming off a loss to the winless Detroit Lions. The Steelers have also been on the mark lately, tying up with the Lions 4 weeks back, which spurred 2 straight losses before they rebound this past week against the Ravens for a win. Carolina and Atlanta. All right, so they're 5-7 versus 5-7. The Panthers are coming off their bye week after firing offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Since Carolina's hot 3-0 start, they've gone 2-7, and they've lost 3 of the last 4 games against the Patriots, the Washington football team, and Dolphins, but somehow steamrolled the Cardinals. The Falcons have been up and down as of late, going 1-3 in the last 4 games after their win over the Saints. And of course, the Saints and the Jets. Saints 5-7, Jets 3-9. Saints need a win here. They haven't lost 6 straight since 2005. A loss to the Jets will be one of the final nails in the coffin for their playoff hopes, and I agree with you. A loss to the Jets will definitely, not mathematically, eliminate the Saints from before a spiritual thing. I say that they definitely get that will definitely hurt them. What is the NFL draft order right now for those who wanting, excuse me, the playoffs and want to capitalize on a less than optimal season for the draft position? The Saints currently are in line for the number 11 pick in the 2022 draft. Here's the top 11 spots in the draft as it stands per Tankathon. What a name. Okay, so let's get into Detroit. It's sitting at the top spot there. Houston behind them. Jacksonville followed by the Jets. The Jets via Seattle. The Giants are at number 6. 7 is the Giants via Chicago. Atlanta is 8. 9 is the Panthers. 10 is the Vikings, and the Saints are 11 position in the Tankathon, or what they call in position for the top pick in the 2022 draft. So that's all you need to know about the Saints having an opportunity. Saints are not out of the playoff picture entirely, despite being 5-7. So good article by Amy. She's dropping the science, trying to help the black and gold feel a little better. All right, let's get into Saints Wire. John Sigler on the scoop. All right, Typical says Saints open as a 5.5 point road favorites over the Jets coming up here. So that should help the Jets get steamed up here to notice. Is this the week the 5-7 New Orleans Saints end their losing streak with 5 consecutive losses behind them? They're scheduled to fly up north for a game with the 3-9 Jets. And the odd makers at Typical Sportsbook don't expect it to be close. They opened their Week 14 NFL odds by favoring the Saints on the road by 5.5-point margin, with the under and over at 43.5. That's just the final tally near the Saints at 25-19 to the Jets. So it's 25-19 Saints. Get it. All right. That feels like a tall order considering Saints have been held to fewer than 25 points in 4 of their last 5 games. Between a flurry of injuries on offense, an unsure kicking situation, they struggle to move the ball or seal the deal when they get into scoring position. But if there's a team that could find a comfortable win against, it's probably the Jets. New York has problems of its own with its rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson, who has looked out of depth and thrown nearly twice as many interceptions, 11 as touchdowns, 6. There's been more to be inspired by from first-year head coach Robert Saleh's defense, but it's looking more like a mismatch. When New York has the ball, the Saints defense should be in for a good time, especially if Saints leader Davenport can return from his shoulder injury. That's the story of the offense, too. There are so many ifs, this, then that factors with the injuries. Knee issues have kept starting tackles Armstead and Ramczyk sidelined, as well as star running back Elvin Kamara. The team's best player, hopefully the extra time off from the Thursday matchup against the Cowboys last week, can help everyone heal up and get back to work on Sunday against the Jets. A 6th consecutive loss to a week this week of an opponent would be a serious nail in their season's coffin, and I would have to agree with them on that. A loss to the Jets would definitely do the Saints in. They wouldn't be mathematically eliminated, mind you, but 6 straight losses at the back end of the season. You can't put it together for a 3-win club, and listen, you don't take anybody lightly. But still in all, the Saints should have more than enough to beat the likes of the Jets and just get back on the winning side of things. Just win one game, and we'll focus on the playoffs. And I'm just giving everybody a look at it because people keep saying the Saints are eliminated or that they're not going to make the playoffs. You don't know what the hell going to go on, to be honest with you. You don't know. You don't know what happens moving forward. If the Saints can catch fire and fix certain things. I know it seemed a bit of a long shot, but like I said, you're not 100% certain that the Saints are not going to make the playoffs. Things could change. We'll see. We got to take it at one game at a time. That's how it is. All right, and of course, the final article to go over with the family members, say goodbye to the Sensations. The Sensations name is changing their name. Here's the new name for the Saints dancers and cheerleaders as they get rid of the Sensations. Been having that for years, man. Love the Sensations name. The Sensations aren't there no more. The new name for the Saints entertainment team, including the dancers formerly known as the Saintsations, is the Saints Cheer Crew. That lacks imagination to me. The team announced Monday the crew also includes the cheerleaders and stunners. The new name was picked with help from our fans. I doubt that. That's probably one of them New Orleans Pelicans type situations that happen. Just be leery. Anytime the Saints have a naming contest, it's usually some BS, to be honest with you. It happened back when the Saints were naming the basketball. I mean, when Tom Benson was naming the basketball team, when we was changing it from the Hornets, and then you heard really creative names like the Gators, the Crew, people like, hey, let's go get the Utah Jazz back, in which he went and asked him how much it would cost. I think they told him like between $4 to $5 million for him to get the name, just to buy it, and you can have it back. And Tom Benson bucked at it. They said that, and on the back end, they said they refused to sell that name. That's not true. Tom Benson didn't want to pay the $4 or $5 million that the Utah Jazz was offering. They was willing to sell the name to the city of New Orleans to have it back, which would probably been a better move to do. But then, of course, after all that was said and done, the name the Pelicans were picked, which will consequently was the same name of the minor league baseball team that Tom Benson used to go to watch when him and his dad, when he was a child, used to go to these games and watch the semi-pro team the New Orleans Pelicans play, with a minor league baseball team. And he consequently, again, bought the name New Orleans Pelicans from that old team and had it tucked away. And then all of a sudden, your basketball team becomes the name that he already owned. Isn't that a coincidence? So anyway, I don't know the Saintsations, man. That was a beautiful name. I love that. That was a creative, inventive. But the Saints cheer team, that is absolutely void of imagination. And I mean, who they was asking, lobotomized people? Or you gonna come up with a name? I know. How about the Saints cheerleading squad? No, that's totally bull BS. The Saints cheer crew. No, come on, man. That lacks imagination to me. Maybe some people like it, but I don't like it, man. It's not nearly as better as what the name the Saints-sations were, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's some BS. All right, let's do a brief recap here. New Orleans Saints wide receiver Deontay Harris suspended 3 games. Defensive end Cam Jordan put on the C19 list. We covered that news at the top of the show. We also went over the Saints are not entirely out of the playoff picture as dropped by Amy. And, of course, we talked about the renaming of the Saints-sations name. And the Saints opened up as 5.5-point favorites against the Jets. That should get their blood turning right there. I know it would with me if that was the case. If somebody told me that the Saints, who are currently on a 5-game losing streak in the cellar of the NFC South, offense can't do a damn thing, and they're 5.5-point favorites to beat us. In their building, goddamn, that gets your blood boiling. I mean, that would be poster board material for me to come back at it. To be real with you. If I was Robert Sella, I'd be using those press clippings and bringing all that back into form. You know what I mean? I would be highly upset about that one. We'll see how it all goes. But anyway, that's the reality of what's going on in the Black and Gold Nation. We're dealing with a lot of stuff right now. What's up, John? Who that to you, John? Big ups to you, fam. Appreciate you. DLP as well. I see you, fam. Much love to you. Ken Rasa. Much love, fam. Lavelle. I see y'all. Uncle Paulie. Big ups to you. All right, but yeah, I see it. What's up, Jermaine? I see a lot of the stuff that's going on with the Saints, man. Wow. You know, it's just really, and just insane to see the amount of stuff that's going on with the squad. Like it's just constant things that we just got to. I remember the Breakers. Yeah, I remember New Orleans Breakers are coming back. Are they? I remember that used to be the USFL team named the New Orleans Breakers. I remember the New Orleans Breakers. They played, I think, here for 1 season before the league folded or something like that. I remember the Breakers. But yeah, that's one of the things we realize about the Black and Gold, man, is that, man, one thing, and if it's not one thing, it's another. And of course, if we can just get some of the guys back, getting Armstead and Ramczyk back healthy, getting Elvin Kamara back healthy, getting some, and of course, the Saints are going to have to find some help for the wide receiver position. In particularly, what happens with Deontay Harris now going for 3 games? The Saints will have to find somebody to fill in and pick up that slack. And remember, Deontay is the guy, he stretches the defense. He's the speed demon for the Saints on offense. So, with that being said, where do you go? Well, you can go and look on your active, on the practice squad, and you'll find guys like Quan Baker sitting there, the 7th-round draft pick for the Saints this year. Let's see what he can do. Aesop Winston, another speed demon. We need guys out there. Both of them. Hell, we got rid of Kevin White, and now Deontay is on suspension. How about bringing both those guys up and see what they can do? We need some people to stretch out that offense, man, to stretch that defense, some opposing defenses. We need speed demons on the field, and not to mention both Aesop Winston and Quan Baker provide a special team return value. So those guys are familiar with the return game. So having both of them would be nice. But also having our, some of our starters back would be even better. Don't you think? Man, I tell you, man, it's really interesting to see the Saints, the season that we're going on. And it really don't hit you until you really start looking at things, be like, damn, the Saints are in the cellar of the NFC South. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are, 9 wins? Now, listen, at this time, we're not really paying attention to what our adversaries do. We just trying to win a game. But it's sterling to know how we dominated this division, and it took everything out of us to be drained. And of course, the suspension of Deontay Harris, various injuries, and then poor execution issues on top of that is a rocky foundation. So very, very strange as more of it comes. Now, C19 is now getting into the picture. Well, Cam, which is your most consistent player, might not be there as well. So might not be. It's still Monday. It's still a lot of time between here and the Sunday matchup with the Jets. But he could very well not miss this game, but he's currently on the C19 list. You know the parameters in which he has to meet to get that. All right, Seth, big ups. Let me get some comments from the family members. Questions, comments, family. Throw them at me. I am going to be on the show for at least another 10 minutes. Let's get some questions and comments from the fam in here. All right, Seth says, what's up, Seth? Who that T says, Q, why don't they start Ian Book? And we talked about this on the prior show. I don't think Coach Payton feels Ian Book's give them opportunity to win right now. I think he goes back to Trevor Siemian and Taysom Hill to be used in his utility role like we use. And then, of course, you get Alvin Kamara in there. You get your bookend tackles. They give you an opportunity to kind of get things turned around against the Jets and let the Saints start building some confidence. Remember, it's been over a month since the Saints won a game, fam. It's been over a month. It's been the last time the Saints won a football game was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Saints have since bottomed out 5 straight times, as you all sit up here and watched. So it'd be intriguing to see this, just to feel how it feels after 5 games and over a month worth of losing, to feel a win again. Getting a win helps the confidence of the team. And I think that's the most paramount thing, is regardless of who we got that's there. If Cam can't go, regardless of who we got, we've got to get a win. We've got to get a win. That's what it comes down to. And I think the Jets could be that thing, but we can't. I'm not underselling the Jets, because I know Robert Saleh will take the press clippings and say, this is total disrespect. They're saying that the Saints is a 5.5 favorite to beat us in our own building. If I'm Robert Saleh, the head coach of the Jets, I'm using that as building board material. So don't expect the Jets to lay down in their building to the Saints. All right, but I don't think, but Seth, just to answer your question, I don't think Coach Payton feels that Ian Book is ready to help them. Right now, Coach Payton is still trying to salvage this season by getting a win. And like I said, it's as simple as that. I don't think he feels he's ready to play. And I mean, for real, and think about it like this too. When we had Ian Book an opportunity to be even active for games, he's Coach Payton had, like last week or the week before that, when you had Trevor Siemian in there stinking it up, you had Taysom, who was an emergency quarterback who really couldn't even play, and Coach Payton, Taysom Hill couldn't even go out there and do anything. But Coach Payton had Taysom Hill, who was still dealing with problems with his foot healing and that he couldn't play football, had him as the emergency quarterback behind Trevor Siemian. Didn't use Ian Book. Ian Book was inactive that game. So that goes to show you in a microcosm exactly how Coach Payton feels about Ian Book helping him right now. When he had Taysom Hill as the emergency quarterback, couldn't even play. God damn. All right, Tim, thank you, man. Appreciate you, Tim. Tim says, the season is cursed for the Saints when the kicker goes down. Yeah, you're right, bro. It's the kicking issues, woes. Thank you, Tim, for your super chat, man. But yeah, you say the season doesn't make sense. It's shaping up that way, but we still got some games left in this thing. Let's see how it all come together. We know we got a championship squad, but do things turn around when the Saints feel a win again? A win just creates miracles, because they've just been in a cesspool of losing and just terrible football. Getting a win helps change things around. Once again, Tim, thank you for your super chat. All right, DLP said this draft is stacked at guard, defensive end, wide receiver, running back, so no excuse why we can't grab some good players at these positions. Few QBs are like they might be grabbed if they choose to go in that direction. Thank you, DLP. All right, Joe, what's up, fam? All right, Joe Wilder said, who that Q in the fam? Sorry, I'm like, that's fine, Joe. It's all good. All right, appreciate you, bro. All right, let's get some more comments in here before we get up out of here, fam. It's not going to be a long stream today. All right, but once again, Tim says, the season is cursed for the Saints when the kicker we release goes to Washington and kicks a game winner. But see, that guy Johnson was the kicker. I think you referencing. Johnson wasn't a bad kicker. He missed those 2 extra points, but he kicked the field goals. So, I mean, I would have kept him. I wouldn't have been in such a knee-jerk pattern to get rid of Johnson. I think Johnson was probably the best of the bunch, because he's better than this Meyer guy. I mean, he was making the field goals. He had a couple of misses on the extra points. But I would have kept Johnson, to be honest with you. Nobody's perfect, and the Saints stinking it up too. If you're going to get rid of kickers like that, get rid of wide receivers who's dropping the ball. Get rid of linemen that don't want block. Why just exclusively put it on the kickers? Move on to guys that don't want block. Get their asses out of here. Put some guys in here. Get them out of here too. Thank you, Tim, for that. Your super chat once again. Young Bloods 46 says Big Q Payton has to promote Easop Winston or Quan Baker from the practice squad. They need receivers now. Yeah, we just talked about that, and I agree with you. Young Bloods 46. Who that to you? Clint says, do you think LeJordan can step up and make a difference. Well, Jordan caught that touchdown last week. He blocks a lot. He's definitely going to be a guy that you're going to have to lean on now. I mean, if you take a look at Traquan Smith, here and there. Of course, Deontay was giving you the best of what he got, Anita Baker, but he's now gone for 3 games. So you're going to have to kind of look at the Marquez Callaway's, who needs to work on his route running and a little trickery in his route running and stop being so bland and predictable. Like, he's going to have to dig into the route breakdown and pretend like he's going to cut one way and then move the other way. Throw some deception in your route running, why don't you? You know, like, go and study the film on, I hate to say it, but Stephon Diggs, how he beat the hell out of Lattimore on that move with just his feet. He ain't point, he ain't throw his head, he just whipped him with his feet. That's great feet work, like Shaquille will say. Not footwork, but feet work too. All right, so big ups. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think he would definitely be one of the guys they have to rely on. But we talked about Aesop Winston and Quan Baker. They should have been on the team operating, especially we was playing around with Kevin White all this time. Kevin White stinks. And of course, you still got Kenny Stills there. And Kenny Stills has turned into Kevin White. So we just can't get rid of that deadbeat wide receiver spirit. John says, Big Q, true or false? There are no easy wins in the NFL. This is true. There are no such things as easy wins in the NFL. So it's true. There are no such thing as easy wins in the NFL. Everybody gonna come to play. Just because somebody beat the hell out of the Jets last week don't mean you're gonna beat the hell out of them this week. They could have been ratcheted up their competitive level. They could have felt disrespectful. They could be tapping into something this week, and then you go in there thinking you're gonna fight a meek team, and then all of a sudden these people start slapping you upside your head. So yeah, absolutely true. There's no such things as easy wins in the NFL. You're absolutely right, John. Thank you. All right, what's up, Charles? Who that to you, man? Jeffrey says, "Say, bro, we beat the Bucks and the Packers. I'm good this year." All right, Jeffrey say he's good. You know, the hell with the playoffs, we good. We got them. We straight. All right. Yeah, Derek says. Derek Cropper says, if Book ever starts the season, you're basically going to say the Saints are tanking. Well, that's the logic is Coach Payton doesn't see in Book, and that's why I use that Taysom Hill reference. Y'all remember it? It was in the Trevor Siemian game, the last game he started, when he was stanking it up, throwing it to dead man's land. Just throwing the ball, into quadruple coverage and shit. So you remember the emergency quarterback was Taysom Hill. He wasn't even medically able to play in that game. So that goes to show you how Coach Payton feels about Ian Book at this stage of his development. Not a disrespect, but it's just, think about that for a second. All right, anyway, let's keep it going. All right, Seth says, Q, since we may not have Cam, how many defensive ends do we have active? Because last week we only had Granderson and Cam. I saw Onyemata playing D in a couple. Yeah, they asked Coach Payton that. We opened up the show playing Coach Payton's teleconference today. They was asking about Deontay Harris. They also was asking about them playing David Onyemata at defensive end. So he says that out of necessity. Yeah, it's out of necessity. And of course, the Saints were experimenting with David Onyemata during preseason and training camp when he was playing a defensive end position before he served that 6 game suspension and came back. So, and it's not a foregone conclusion that Cam is gone for this game. He's on the list. He just needs to meet the prerequisites of clearing the C19 so he can get back to football. And this is Monday now going into Tuesday, so there's a lot of time for him to meet that two-test situation so he could be eligible to play in the Jets game. So don't count Cam out just yet. Don Duck 44444, big ups to you, fam. Appreciate you. All right, what's up, fam? What's up, D Granger? All right, big ups to the fam. Uncle Paula says, Q, Sean Payton need to give some of the salary to the season ticket holders for this mess. Uncle Paula. Charles says the season might be a loss, but I did save $1,500 on my auto insurance. Okay, this year by NT paying car insurance. That's a win for me this year. All right, thank you. All right, Charles. All right, so big ups to the fam. All right, DLP said, I agree. We solid in the secondary. I do like the safeties there, hard-nosed ones. Okay, somebody else drew a question. I just went past it. All right, Mr. Pop says, come on, Q. We need that on Q episode. Oh yeah, I got you, bro. It's coming. I'm working on it, bro. I got some people dialed up. I'm gonna play for you, man. It's so simple. People just gotta know. I'm gonna show you the faces of the people that's responsible for it. It's so simple to see it nowadays, fam. I mean, this whole thing, man. That whole thing. Did you know The new thing that's out, there was a movie back in 1963 that was, I mean, I ain't gonna even get into all of it. Oh man, they just toying at this point. You gotta be totally in a complete coma. You know, not the good kind either. Not the sports coma, but in the the sleep shit coma for you not to get what's going on. But yeah, that's on the way. I got some stuff for you. All right, DC, exactly. I think we're going to lose to the Jets. Saints seem to see the writing on the wall this season. I don't see that. I don't see that yet. I don't see that. Darnell Willoughby. I hear you, Kevin. Willoughby. Yeah, I know he ain't seen no hair, tail, or nothing. But yeah, the Saints gonna have to figure a way. Like I said, don't count on Cam Jordan just yet. I mean, he still have to clear. He still have plenty of time to meet the standards that they need so he can get back on the field to play. So I think he'll meet those standards. And if they can't, they'll use David Onyemata. They had Jalen Holmes, who got a sack a couple of games ago. He's there. And they got defensive ends that cycle in at that position. But we're getting pretty damn thin at the defensive end position, which is why I don't see why they ain't using Zach Bowen strictly as a special teams. You take a little imagination. Hey, Dennis Allen, start using Zach Bowen at the defensive end position. Even if Cam is able to go, hey, Dennis Allen, start using Zach Bowen. Dennis Allen, hey, Dennis. Hey, Dennis. Start using Zach Bowen as your pass rusher. Start using, speaking of Dennis Allen, call for Dennis Allen. Start using Zach Bowen in your pass rush packages. He ain't doing nothing. Start using Zach Bowen in your packages. Dennis Allen. God damn it. Yeah, it don't take much. This is crazy. I don't know, Charles, if he is it. But that seems not to be the case, because there are cases when those guys are, and then they still get it. So I don't know if he is or isn't. You know, we'll see. I don't know. Last thing, say, yeah, guys, when the chat ends, hop on. Okay, yeah, he's going live. All right, thank you for Hoodie. Yeah, Hoodie. Big ups to my dog, Hoodie. Jordan says the season is, I can't, he says, my moon. Oh, he means through. Okay, all right. Yeah, it take a little, yeah, Miss Pop say, LOL, it's cool, I'll be ready for it on the right platform. All right. No, it's coming, bro. It's coming, man. I'm telling you, man. I've been working on it. I got some other stuff that I'm doing, but I promise you, On Cue with Big Q will happen this week. I promise you that. Some stuff I won't cover. Brian says, I thought you were on the round table. Okay, he talking to Jerry. All right. Yeah, Bobby says, what's up, Bobby? The Space Ghost says, Lil Jordan has to continue to step up. I agree with you. He has to step up and make things happen. No doubt about it. Saints are really have to use their imagination in these games to be able to get it, because when the injuries are happening, it's killing them right now deep in the season. So it'll be fun just to watch do that. Yeah, they got to hear you. Sooner or later, we all start yelling it. Let them put them up in there. Zach Bowen ain't doing nothing for you as a special teams. I mean, he does his little special teams thing, but his greater value is to help you on the defense. This was something that he talked about when he got him here. He played well as a linebacker. To be honest with you, with the black and gold. Before Werner came in and Werner came in and took his position. I mean, he was playing all right. He trained with the Watts, and then he was looking good. But listen, Zach Bowen will never get that linebacker position back. You got Quan Alexander ahead of him. Perhaps the next thing he needs to do is the Saints need to use his pass rushing ability. He's a very athletic guy. He's 6'3", 6'4", 245, 250 pounds. Let that goddamn man rush off the edge, man. Come on. I mean, come on, bro. Do the right thing, man. Let's see some new bloods. Let's see Quan at the pass rush. Move him in there. He up to start. Move him in there with Granderson, because Granderson starts opposite. I think still Cam plays this week. Still a lot of time. And then move Bowen in there off the bench to help out. And then, of course, the wide receivers, Quan Baker and, of course, Eastside Winston need to be activated so they can have reps to help it. Both of those are really speedy wide receivers. We need guys like that to stretch, to help the offense be even more explosive. So it is what it is, fam. All right, Vincio, what's up, fam? You said we're in take mode or still aiming for the playoffs. Both are fine. I think they're still aiming for the playoffs. If they were in take mode, you'll see them roll out Ian Book and put him out there. And the Saints are still trying to win a game. The approach now at 5-7 is just win a game. Beat the Jets, and let's see how it feel again. And perhaps then we move forward to the next fold and see if we can get another win. Improbable as it may be, a lot of things happen in this in this wacky season that a lot of people weren't anticipating. Nobody was anticipating the Washington football team to be 6-6 at this point. Remember, they were basically a shell of themselves. Carolina Panthers started off hot, feeling themselves, and all of a sudden they tanked and went to the ground. Saints went 5 in the ground. So anything showed you that this season is crazy as hell. So why would the back end of it not be crazy as hell? So, we'll see how it all goes. That's why I say I'm not going to just shut nobody down. I'm saying that now I'm just looking at one game at a time. That's the most logical way that we can go through this thing. Yeah, I know Devin. Devin says this man Bone had 13 sacks last year at Wisconsin the year before. He said, I just don't understand what Dennis Allen is thinking. I don't get it either. I don't know. Paul says, hey, Q, you think it's time to move on from Marcus Davenport? He's just not that guy. Yeah, they got one more year of Davenport. But I think that's what Peyton Turner's here, man. And, what the future look like. The Saints kind of cash strap, what the draft look like. So, obviously, I think the mood of the Saints in the future is kind of build through the draft. It's a cheaper way to do it. And the Saints are not bad at drafting. We're just dealing with a lot of injuries right now. And the guys we came in here that's filling in for the guys that are hurt are not executing. They're not. So that's a recipe for disaster. When you got injuries mounting and the players that's filling in for the injured players are not executing. Half the system, that stinks. You have 14 drives in the game last week against the Dallas Cowboys, and you only score on 2 or 3 drives? You can't do that. You get 14 drives, you got to at least score on 4 drives. That's too many drives for you not to be scoring any pointage. You can't be taking stupid sacks and dumb sacks to kick yourself out. All that stuff just can't happen. It has to. But when you're losing everything, they forget all the fun. All that stuff goes out the window when you're losing. And then it's like I said, winning is so difficult to do because it takes attention to details. Losing is easy. Just don't do nothing. Or just do half-ass stuff and you'll get those type of results. It's always that effort. You got to be, it's always that focus. It takes focus and concentration, attention to detail and seriousness and commitment to be able to win. And the Saints seem to have lost that, not just all because of injuries, but the players behind those players still at the very least should still have the commitment to winning, which means they will elevate their play to the point where they would not be as good as a starter, but they would elevate their play better than where they were coming from, where they wouldn't be a second or third stringer. They would be at least better than that. Now that you're occupying a starting position, you have to play better than you've ever had at any time in your career. So, that's a big part where a lot of people are missing, but the Saints guys have to execute. Whoever you put in there, they got to execute. That's right. Miami, DLP said Miami is on a winning streak. Who foreseen that? So if it's been a crazy season up to this point, why would it not end out crazy? Why can't the Saints win a few more games before this thing said? Or some of the adversaries keep bottoming out? We don't know how it's going to end. So all I'm saying is let's just sit up here and watch how it go. What you going to go do? Watch the soaps? What you going to do? You're going to have to watch how you got to watch how it finish out, man. We'll see. Kevin says, Q, the Jets got receivers we wanted in the draft. I know. We talked about that, Kev. A lot of people they passed it. And I think the biggest criticism of Coach Payton in terms of his draft process is the fact that Coach Payton doesn't get guys from locally. What kind of model is that set? How you going to run up here getting all these guys and buying your apples from Ohio State and totally negating all of these great talent from LSU, and then the guys get drafted by other teams and then they kick your ass? I don't understand what's the rationale here. What are you doing? If you got to go down to a SEC school, which is an hour and some change away from the city of New Orleans, and go watch some top-notch talent there, you go and do that. There's no reason why you should be going. You'll send your scouts everywhere to look for talent, but that's what we do. But you're supposed to make where you reside at your hotbed. That's how you get a lot of people on the side of the Saints when you start knowing that you're building. Like if you ain't have the talent to compete, then you would go elsewhere. But if you got local talent that's competing at a high level, you can't ignore that and go somewhere else and say that them guys in Ohio State or any other place is better than the guys that's in your own goddamn backyard. That don't make no sense, man. That don't make no sense to me. And the fact that we have all these talented players that go elsewhere and then kick the Saints' ass every time they play. That's just really just totally numbskullish motions by me. You don't do that. You make where you build your bones and make where you build your talent where you stay at. You can go and look all over the place. But at the same time, you know that you ain't pulling no better talent out of bum screw Montana somewhere for somebody at Tulane or down at LSU or Louisiana Lafayette or any one of these teams, the schools down here. Hell, Louisiana with the Raging Cajuns are the only Louisiana school that's ranked. They actually won their conference. You don't hear none of that. So, I mean, we got a lot of players down here we need to start paying attention. Stop going way up there looking for all these people, man. You know, let's pay attention to who we got down here. And I guarantee you to save you some money on gas too, but you don't give a shit about that. We paying for the gas anyway. All right, so with that being said, fam, I'm going to cut out on he said, I don't know, Q, that this Chris Olave kid from Ohio State looks good. Yeah, but who you think Peyton going to take an Ohio State wide receiver with the first round pick? Man, it's not going to happen. Listen, don't get me wrong. I like some of these guys from Ohio State, but you mean to tell me that they're more talented than some of the guys that you pulling out from LSU? LSU's our draft classes are more than any other people that's coming out. They don't do nothing but turn out great people. You got cornerbacks that's coming out of there, Stingley and all these other guys coming out of here. These are terrific talents. You know, so like I said, and in the future talent, if you're going to be here, it only makes a lot of sense if you start looking around your backyard before you go way up out to the north or wherever else to go look for other people. When the same type of talent is right behind you, why not start looking? And you can get more scout work done when you nearby. Hell, you can go and drive down there and go watch him play. It's just my thought process. All right. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he passed. Yeah, the Zach. Yeah, Patrick Queen. We don't get Kevin started on that. What's up, Kai? Big ups, bro. 504 says, man, we better take one of them LSU wide receivers. I don't care. Yeah, it's a part of the game, but like I said, it's just where he picks his bones. I don't know if they're paying him to do that, but it's like a consistent pattern where he just wants Ohio State's guys. And I'm like, man, listen, where you got our LSU guys that's on that level or above the level of some of these other guys. Start looking at those guys a little bit more. And people been asking them that for years. Like, oh, I can understand if the talent wasn't there, but that's ridiculous. These guys are going up here. I mean, think about who you had, Jamar Chase and all these other dudes. And they run around looking for Odell Beckham, and Jamar Chase was there. Well, why didn't we make a play on him? It was only a draft pick or so. You know, so like I said, Terrence Marshall Jr. was another guy who ain't really getting a fair due with Carolina. He was a guy that we could have gotten here. We waiting until, but where Carolina knew you was going to draft him. That's why, you could have had him if you wanted him. You know, so I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man, but we'll see how it all shakes in the end. All right. So with that being said, Joshua says, Big Q, you know that Sean don't like LSU. Come on, man. I don't know if he don't like him. He said that's not the case. He said, but then again, he could be. He said that's not the case, that he does look at LSU players. For what I'm saying is you seeing really good players and you just consistently picking other players like they're not good enough. And then those same players come back here and knock you in your head. So, I mean, it happens all the time. LSU guys come here and they wail on the Saints. Former LSU guys come back here with a grudge match. And they go into your adversaries. They go into the Atlantas and the Tampas and all these other teams. Look at Cincinnati. Cincinnati got none but LSU players up. They got the quarterback, the wide receiver. They're building up a whole damn squad up there. You know, so I mean, we'll see. But anyway, with that being said, fam, I'm going to peep out on that. Much love to the fam. I appreciate you guys for joining in the live stream with me. Please feel free to hit the like button if you hadn't already hit it. Please feel free to share the show links on your social media feed with other Saints family members as well. And that's going to do it for me today. So if you want to help out the platform, feel free to join our Patreon at patreon.com/The Pro Media Network. That's patreon.com/The Pro Media Network. All kind of lot content there on Q with Big Q, our news show, and TSC Q&A live. We do every Tuesday, which is tomorrow. We'll be on there, and all kind of shows, 70 plus shows, a lot of content is on Patreon. Also, you can become a YouTube member to access some of that TSC Q&A live shows that showed on the platform page. Our merch, several merch stores are available in the description section as well. So with that being said, we're gonna kick out on that. I appreciate you guys for being in the stream. And listen, like I said, we'll be back Tuesday for our Patreon show, our Tuesday only Patreon show for the family members, Patreon and YouTube members. And then for those who are not, if you're not, feel free to join. You know, we got different tiers for depending on which, your monetary situation. And it helps out the platform to keep going strong. And remember, this upcoming Wednesday, we'll be back. And we also have the TSC radio program that starts this Wednesday as well. So be looking out for that as well. And it's fantastic. So with that being said, I'm going to holler at y'all later. I appreciate y'all for being here. Who dat? And I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation? Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.